Dough is very forgiving, and as you add it, after it's baked, you won't even know that I added these little pieces of dough to it. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to roll this out again underneath, and I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces.
Because you're making a braided challah, right? I'm
going to braid these pieces together. Now I'm going to weigh, it should weigh about 8 ounces each. 8. That's a little bit light. This is a little bit heavy, so I'm going to take this little piece here and I'm going to add it to this piece here. And I'm going to roll it out now. And you roll it out to about 12 to 15 inches long, and you roll it with a down and outward motion. Down and outward motion. Down and outward motion. Then if it's a little bit thin or thicker, it doesn't matter. And you roll it back up in here, and you do that with each piece of bread. You can move it around. It don't have to be perfect. You want to get a little length to it. Out and down, down and out. Now you take one piece of dough and you start from the top left to the bottom right. You stretch it like that, and the next piece you'll take it from the top right and cross it to the left, and you take the one piece and cross it right over the center. Now you're going to start braiding, and you always start on the right hand side, and you come over like that, and like that, and like. And when you get to the end, you pinch it real hard, pinch it together, and we're going to take this part and bring it to the front. So you can lift your dough like that, and you can stretch this here, this hard part. You stretch it out longer if you want to. And you just finish braiding like that. Now, this is what the traditional loaf looks like. But we're going to make this to fit into the pan.
Why?
Because we have to want like that. We want to raise it to the same height. So you tuck these ends in, and
this just so it'll fit in that pan.
See how nice that is? Almost square along the top. And just by tucking it, you can adjust it. Then we're going to spray this with Pam, and we're going to put that in there. One thing.
But you could bake it without bunching it up like that and sticking it in the pan, right, if you wanted.
Now we're going to do, and here we go with this one.
So we're doing the same thing with the other.
Same thing. You can cut that out now.
All right.
No, I'm gonna.
That's Pam?
Pam, yeah. They also has a pan that has a flour in it you can use.
Okay.
Does that look pretty good?
Looks wonderful.
Okay. And what I need is the egg yolk to put on this.
If there's going to be like a glaze for the top
of the glaze, that's right. And then you put your sesame or poppy seed on top.
You sprinkle it right on top of the wet glaze.
Right, right.
Okay.
But you don't want to get this too runny, because you want the egg yolk to be kind of thick. Because what happens if it's too runny, some people add water to the yolk and put it on, but it's too runny, because when this comes up and the egg sticks to the, I don't care what kind of a pan you use, it's going to stick.
Oh, okay.
So what you want to do is keep the egg yolk in the middle and away from the sides.
Okay.
So you want this fairly thick.
Okay.
Then you but I have to heat it up a little bit.
You're going to heat the egg up under some warm water?
Well, I can even take the yolk out and just run it under hot water.
Sounds a little bizarre to me. Oy vey.
You don't want any whites in this here.
Okay, so let me see what you're doing over here. You're separating all the whites out.
Yeah.
Just like we did earlier. Oop. Okay.
Get rid of the whites. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. I'm going to wash my hands and let them dry real well. Because if you don't, the sesame seed will stick to your fingers here. So you have to let it really dry.
Okay.
And I have a 1-inch brush.
Yeah.
And you think I need a new one? Let it dry.
Oh, I'm going to shut it off for a second.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
You want the yolk as thick as can be. And you spread it on, just on the top edges. Not too close to any of the sides.
Otherwise it'll stick to the pan.
Or in front or in back. And now we're going to see what happens. This is going to come up and it's going to spread out.
Okay. Now what are you putting on there?
Now we're putting on the sesame seed. That's the way it goes. See how pretty that looks already?
Right.
Don't get it.
Okay, so you're doing the same thing for the second loaf now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't get it too close to
the edges of the
edges,
pan,
front,
otherwise
front and back. It'll spread
it'll stick and you'll have trouble getting the dough out of there. Right?
Yeah, right. But the egg will stick to anything.
Again, you're putting more sesame seeds on?
You can put as much as you want. It won't hurt if you. You could use poppy seed on there if you want.
Okay.
Now we take this over here. Right over in any warm spot, and I take my little piece, and I'm going to cover it. And if you're worried about now, this dough has to come all the way up, so the sides will be touching. The dough will be touching the sides.
So you can leave it right there until it rises?
You leave it there for an hour.
So you're not going to put it in the oven?
Until you think it's ready to rise.
Okay.
And then in about half an hour, you'll turn the oven on at 350 with the rack in the middle of the oven.
All right. Well, we'll come back in 1 hour.
Yes. So the oven is set for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for half an hour.
It was sitting for almost an hour or so, and it's risen. And now it's going to get actually baked.
Set it for a half hour.
About a half hour now.
Yeah.
Wait for it to bake.
Okay, I'm going to take the bread out now. It's been in for a half hour. And it has a mahogany color. It's beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Good. Now I'm going to try and take it out.
You take it out of the pan right away, huh?
Yeah. Hey!
Hey, it came out.
So nice and high. Now if there's any egg stuck on the side,
Oh, it came out. Oh.
you see that mahogany color? How nice it is?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's
Look at
it.
that. Isn't that pretty? Smells great too.
It's still warm.
How long has it been sitting there? About 10 minutes, 15 minutes? After it came out of the oven?
There, a couple of raisins show. And the texture's nice. It has to cool off a little bit more.
It's still too warm.
Yeah.
Okay.